Good morning and welcome to Dhruva IAS Academy's News Navigator. In today's edition of The Hindu, 19 February 2025, we cover a diverse range of topics from the decline of school enrollment to digital censorship, the rarest of the rare doctrine to rising unemployment, India's import trends to NASA's latest space missions. Let's dive into the key takeaways and the relevance for UPSC aspirants. Coming to the first category of articles, that is end-to-end reads. These are the articles that a student must read fully. The first article under this category is in page number 6, which is an editorial article. This article talks about the declining trend of enrollment in schools, especially government schools. This particular topic is relevant for GS2 education as well as governance. Kindly pause this video and cover these dimensions when you are reading this article. The next article that we need to read fully is in page number 7. It talks about the digital censorship. The recent comments by a social media influencer Ranveer has triggered the source for this article. This particular article is relevant for GS2, especially when we talk about fundamental rights as well as limitation on free speech. This article is also relevant for GS4 ethics when we talk about the morals and ethical standards in the society. The next article that we need to read fully is in page number 8. This particular doctrine talks about the rarest of the rare case, how it emerged, when we can invoke rarest of the rare doctrine, what are the judicial cases associated with it, and how far it is ethical to follow this doctrine. Remember, this doctrine is associated with capital punishment. It is relevant for GS2, polity and governance, as well as GS4, ethics, when we talk about punitive justice versus reformative justice. The next article under end-to-end reads is in page number 8. This article per se is not talking about the Indian scenario, but rather it gives an idea about how a government's policy could impact its demography. And not only that, how it could impact the social values of the society. This particular article is highly relevant for GS1 and 2, that is social issues and social justice, as well as optionals like sociology and anthropology. Kindly cover these dimensions when you're reading this article. The next article that we need to read fully is in page number 12. This particular article talks about the unemployment rate in the urban areas. The recent trend is highlighting that there is a declining rate of unemployment in urban areas in India. This particular article also talks about the key terms like labor force, worker population ratio, among others. This particular one is highly useful for social issues and social justice of GS1 and 2, and it is also relevant for GS3, which is economy. The next category of articles that we see falls under Google and Notes section. From today's paper, there isn't much belonging to this category. The only two terms that you need to search and learn is UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change, and the next one is Uniform Civil Code, especially the Uttarakhand Civil Code. Apart from this, in today's newspaper, we have too much of data which is highly relevant for UPSC mains. So we have given the detailed data that is relevant in these two slides. Kindly pause the video and make notes on all the points. As we have too much of data to present, we have subcategorized this section into three parts. The first one is India's duty structure related points. The second one is about India's artificial intelligence initiatives. And the third one is NASA's space missions. Kindly note, these points are useful for prelims as well, especially if we talk about the AI initiatives or else NASA's missions. UPSC could ask in any way. For example, what is Bharatjan, or how many spacecrafts that have visited Saturn so far, or which spacecrafts that have visited Saturn so far. So they could ask any such questions. Now coming to our last section, that is Curiosity Corner. Yesterday we have given a question, Pamba effect. So what is Pamba effect? The Pamba effect is the observation that a liquid that is initially hot can freeze faster than the same liquid which begins cold under otherwise similar conditions. That means if we try to freeze a hot water, it takes lesser time in comparison to if we try to freeze a cold water. Coming to today's Curiosity Corner, The question is, which wind is called as doctor's wind and why it is called so, where it is present? Is it an easterly wind or is it a westerly wind? Kindly give your responses in the comment section. That's all for today's News Navigator. See you all in tomorrow's session. Thank you for visiting Dhruva IAS Academy.